What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Reviews Podcast. I'm your host, Chris, and we got
Mike?
And he's replacing the fish today because a fish called in sick. All right. So let's get started. Roll the intro. At the Reviews Podcast, what we do is we listen to David Dobrik's podcast and we review kind of the topics he talks about in his podcast. We talk about what he talks about and give our opinions, but we also give our personal experiences as well. All right, so going down the list, the first thing they talked about was life insurance, which was crazy because I don't know if you are familiar with David Dobrik's podcast, but he did an ad right off the bat. Was that odd?
Yeah, that was great. Well, there must be something new because he didn't talk about anything. He just went right into the ad. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it started right off with an ad. So I figured that there was a lot of ads to get through when I first heard it, but as we went through it, it wasn't that many.
Yeah, and so it was just crazy that he was talking about life insurance, and I bet you that's why the life insurance company hit him up. Remember when he said he didn't know what life insurance was?
Yes.
I guarantee you that's connected.
It could be, and it's a great way, if you think about it, for life insurance people or companies, it's a great way to get young people to start thinking about it. You know what I mean? Because his
Absolutely.
audience is young. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And then Jason smells bad and his nails aren't cut. What?
That's just I thought that was I thought that was interesting to point out because I don't think we pointed it out. He's constantly criticizing Jason, and that's what he just said. He just said that out of the blue. Jason smells bad and his nails aren't cut. That's just all he said.
Oh, really? Like I feel like I remember that, but I feel like that was in a different episode. But I feel like he does say that to him often.
All the
like
time.
Your toes are gross.
Yeah, his feet. Like I remember one podcast where he seriously was telling him, "Get your feet off the couch."
Yeah, his fucking nice couch, what, $1,000 couch or something like that.
They need to put his feet in the vlog so we can see what he's talking about.
I don't want to see it. Freaks me out.
But this whole Trisha thing, that relationship, that's just weird.
Have you seen the vlog though? Before you talk about this, okay,
I did see it. Yeah, so his naked girlfriend, she takes off her clothes, and I don't know. Do you know why she took off her clothes?
Yes, because David went up to both of them while they were all hanging out, and David was like, "Hey, Jason, would you have a threesome with this YouTuber?" I think it was like, I forget the name. It was like Trina or something like that. And then he was like, yeah. And like, basically saying, yeah, I would. But I don't think he meant it as I want to. And Trisha flipped the fuck out. And the way she flipped out, for those who haven't seen his vlog yet, was that she got mad at Jason for saying yes and started taking off all her clothes in front of David and I think one other person. Oh, I think the assistant. What's her name?
Natalie.
Yeah, and so she was taking off all her clothes, full naked, like vagina shot, boob shot, everything.
Yeah, so that would piss me off too. I mean, he was right to get mad.
Oh, hell yeah.
And at least it sounds like he's being a little more honest than what he was before when she was going to the movie with his ex-boyfriend or whatever. Sounds like he's just he like masked this stuff. Just like I feel that there's so much fake laughing going on Jason's part. Like what's being said is not funny, but he laughs because he has to.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that?
Sometimes.
Yeah, he's always laughing, and it's just more like of a cackle. But I don't get like a real laugh. So he laughed at his smells bad and his nails. But the Pornhub thing, I thought that was interesting because I don't know. If I had so what happened is David and some of his friends went on Pornhub and somebody paid for a membership and they looked up Trisha's nudes.
Right.
So when Jason found out about it, he was pissed at David and he was like, he's still pissed. He says, why I wouldn't go look up my friend's girl's nudes. So he obviously doesn't want people to see Trisha naked, although she's out there naked.
Right.
But I don't know. I I think I would go look up my friend's
Of course.
girlfriend's
Who the
nudes.
fuck wouldn't? And honestly, yeah, I thought about it too. And yes, I think every person, there are some that wouldn't, but I would say majority would look up their friend's girlfriend if they knew that she was putting herself out there. Because it's like, well, shit, she's doing it, so I'm just curious. It's not like I like need to. It's just like it's curiosity. And when Jason's dating this girl and he knows that she does this type of stuff, I mean, you can't assume that your friends won't.
Yeah, you probably have to assume they did.
Yeah,
The only way you can make sure they don't is to make sure they don't know she's on it.
exactly. But she makes it. I mean, that's kind of what she does to make money.
Right. So it's kind of crazy in that situation. You're with someone who puts themselves out nude. So obviously taking her clothes off wasn't really a big deal to her.
There's no way. There's no way I could. I don't know how Jason's doing it, but I feel like it's his age and where he's at in life is kind of why. Because there's no way I could do that. I couldn't date someone who's in the porn industry or even just softcore or even just modeling and just being full nude.
Yeah. So Jason was pissed, and he felt like David felt like he told Jason to that he helped Jason not to get into the situation, and he said or not to react because Jason was so pissed. Jason said he would have just walked off.
Yeah.
And David thought that because he talked about it, he said, "Hey, I only talked about it because of the camera. If it wasn't the camera, I would have just left." And so I just feel like he's just in for a lot of more pissed off moments.
Yeah, he's just dealing with it.
It's not gonna end.
Yeah, well,
it's not gonna end.
It really sucks for him. But I think here's my assumption. I'm just gonna say this now. It's early, I know, but I think now that we know Jason is starting to make a lot more money, his options may open.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You don't think he'll be with her?
Yes. I feel like when he first started, he got into this relationship with Trisha. She's wild, and he just got out of a marriage, and if the marriage is not working out and he's bored, then he's gonna want something exciting, right? The opposite end, right? And then now that he's starting to be up and coming, I think he now may have more respect for himself, may grow out of the whole thing that she, like her attitude and her maturity level, that type of thing. I mean, I'm not saying that she's bad. It just might not be his type.
But when they were talking about the threesome thing, he said he thought that nobody compares to Trisha. And so, that's pretty deep. And the other thing I think would be a factor is like, what is his kid's relationship with Trisha? That'll be a big part too.
It will be. And you can tell he's starting to really, really care about her because before he used to never care so much, but now
I think he cared. I think he was just, I think he wasn't being honest.
Yeah, probably.
So SeatGeek, the only place you should not get your tickets from. There's so many other sites.
Did they talk about SeatGeek?
Yep.
Oh, man, yeah. Okay, don't use SeatGeek. You know what I used to go see Bruno Mars like a few weeks ago? I used StubHub.
Well, somebody actually told me, honestly, a few days ago, somebody told me that SeatGeek is too expensive.
Really?
Yeah, they said it's more expensive. Where did they end up getting? I think they ended up going to StubHub.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well,
and I've only used StubHub and Ticketmaster. Oh, and you know what's crazy? What? I didn't know when I went. Let's just say it was StubHub. It may not be, but I got tickets in St. Louis to a college basketball tournament, and to pick up the tickets, it wasn't us printing it out. We went to a StubHub office and picked up the tickets.
Oh wow!
I didn't even know they had offices.
Right.
That was the craziest thing. Yeah.
That's
weird. To a StubHub office. Yeah,
well, so let me tell you two experiences that I had with some friends with StubHub, because I don't think you guys should go to SeatGeek. One, Mike is saying that it's more expensive, but two of my friends, one of them got tickets to Bruno Mars. Well, she noticed that something was weird on her ticket, so she called up StubHub and she talked to a manager, and the manager was like, "Yeah, your tickets are actually photoshopped." And so that was odd. But right away, without hesitation, the manager automatically gave her floor seats when she was all the way up in the nosebleeds. Second situation. You know how like when you buy tickets, it says, "Oh, your tickets are not ready. You may have to wait a few days," kind of thing. I don't know if you're
Mm-hmm.
familiar with that yet, but that's what
Yeah.
happens. And then when on the day of the concert or the day before, it said it wasn't ready. So they called again, this other friend of mine, they called, got floor seats.
Wow.
It's crazy, right?
Wait, so how did the person got Photoshop tickets? So they bought them from somebody and they weren't legit.
Right, because the way these sites work, it doesn't even matter if it's StubHub, SeatGeek, Ticketmaster. If you go through the automated way of purchasing it, you find the best seats for the best price, right? And it filters it out for you. And it
Okay.
and it doesn't matter. It's if there's someone else selling it or it's direct from the stadium or whatever, the arena, it's going to show it up in the filter, and then you just purchase it.
Right.
And then so once that purchase happens, it notifies the seller, and then they have to post the screenshots of the tickets, because that's what I had to do when I was trying to sell tickets. But what's weird is I don't know why it wouldn't be ready, because when you do sell it, you have to upload the screenshots beforehand anyway. So I don't know. I don't know the situation, but I just know that StubHub took care of both of my friends. Floor seats, automatic.
Wait, but I don't understand what you're talking. So how were they photoshopped? Like, so
So
somebody.
so she caught it where she was looking at the seating arrangement, and on the picture of the stadium it showed orange, right? Well, on her ticket it had the right seat and row number, but the area was like blue. So she was like, "This doesn't make sense. Why is it blue?" And so someone changed it to make it look like it was closer when it wasn't.
Okay. And so, yeah, I didn't know there was a risk of that.
There,
Huh.
there is a risk, but they guarantee your money back. But before money back, it's better seats.
Okay. That's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Um, anyway, this next story, um, what do you think about it? The old man that
Oh,
cleaned up
this
his
is
house.
funny.
And I did
Yes,
see that thing in the blog with the
I did
with
too.
all the animals. Oh, I'd be
Yeah,
so fucking pissed.
I'd be fucking pissed. I don't. You know what's so funny? Okay, so if you guys aren't familiar with David's friends, David always pulling pranks on his friends. Well, the friends always try to get him back in some like crazy way, and this time Jonah, his one of his fat friends, basically I think his only fat friend, um, took or opened his house to a bunch of farm animals while David was gone. And David came in, and there was chickens, pigs, goats. I don't. There were so many. I don't even know, but they were
some
shitting
kind
everywhere.
some kind of hen that landed on that flew on top of the goat
Yeah,
or the sheep or
yeah.
whatever that was.
I don't know, but there was just a ton of animals in David's house, and they do
In
some
his
crazy
lip
shit.
in his living room and in Natalie. They did it in Natalie's room too. So
Right.
that was kind of a dick move.
Yeah. And there's tons of shit everywhere from all these animals. So it was just crazy. And I don't know how David like is okay with it, because he's always super okay with it. You know what I
Well,
mean?
I took his face as a real as not a very happy laugh. He was trying to make it. He was trying to make it like, ha, 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 I'm so happy.
Yeah.
He sure as hell wasn't.
Okay.
So
Probably because he's going to pay some. For example, he's going to pay somebody to clean up his house. Well, in this story, he knows that there's this old guy that helps
well,
the
that
Vard.
set it up first that he called. He or Natalie or somebody was calling other maids and services to see if they could come clean this up. And because it was 7 or 8 o'clock on a Friday night, they couldn't get anybody to come.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. And so he went and called the family. I forgot what it's Vardon's family and Jonah's family. And apparently there's this old guy, I guess one of the neighbors, who comes and cleans their house for free all the time. And so David or Natalie was calling and saying, "Hey, you know that guy that comes in to just clean the house for free? Can you see if he's available to clean, David's house, right?" And at first
But
he said, well, go ahead.
yeah, but also to note that the reason he cleans Jonah's friend's mom's house for free is because he likes her, and so he just wants to see her. He's a married man, a married older man, but he likes to
Yeah,
see her. So
that's
so
weird.
he cleans their house once a week for free. Um,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just weird. So yeah, so David or Natalie calls the Jonah or that family and says, "Hey, can we have that guy come over? I'll pay him to clean the house." And so the guy doesn't want to do it at first, but then the mom of that family says, "Hey, if you don't do it for my friend, I'm not going to let you come over to the house, and you won't see me for a while." And so he was like, "Okay, I'll do it, right?" And 1 hour cleaning David's house, cleans up all the shit, like literally shit from animals, which is just crazy. And David, knowing that this guy cleans the Vardon's family or Jonah's family for free, that he was going to give him $200, and he felt so good about it. He's like, "Yeah, I'm just going to give him $200." Well, when he handed him the $200, he flipped out and said, "No, pay me more, pay me $500." And David was just in shock. And I could feel that that was going to happen because this guy's cleaning up normal stuff at this other house. And then he comes over to this big fucking house with shit for 1 hour. but but when Jason and David said, is $500 for 1 hour of work too much? When they measure it that way, I can see where they're coming from, because they're like, "Oh, an hour for $500, that sounds crazy." But I mean, he is cleaning up shit that you guys don't want to clean up, and it's actual shit.
Well, this is the topic that I wanted to talk to you about, because I talked to so many people about this.
Okay.
And I'm so glad that, like, I felt when David asked Jason, like, isn't $200, wasn't that good? It was just not even an hour of work. And Jason says, "Oh yeah, I totally makes sense." But I don't think he believed that. In fact, later on, he ended up saying, "Oh, maybe it was worth $500," because he asked him if he had cleaned it up and
Yeah.
how good of a job he did. And he said, David's exact words were, he killed it. And so I hope not many people agree with him. Several things happened here. He didn't want Natalie to he wanted Natalie to clean it up, but his friend said no, which is good, because
Yeah.
that would have been a dick move.
Yeah.
Second, he called all these other maid services that said no. And if a maid service showed up and they saw shit, they're not going to charge a normal price. Now, I mean, I know you can get your whole house cleaned. I've had my whole apartment cleaned when I moved out for like $160.
Wow.
So, and that's a lot, and that's probably the average price. It's never been over $200.
Okay.
But so he can't get anybody to do it. He calls to see if this guy can do it. This guy doesn't want to do it, but then they threaten this guy that you won't be able to see her if you don't do it. No, I mean, this is such a big story to me. Like, this is fucking ridiculous. So then the guy, whatever he's doing, who knows? Maybe he was going to dinner. Maybe he was going to see a movie. Maybe whatever he was doing,
and
they forced him to stop doing whatever he was doing and come to the house and clean up literal shit.
Yeah.
Do you know Uber drivers, if you throw up in their car, look how small space that is. They can charge you $400.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
they
crazy.
can charge you $400, and you think with all the money you have that $200 for an emergency cleaning is fair? Who the fuck is gonna do that?
I know, when he said $200, I was like, man, in my head I was thinking that's kind of low. And what's so crazy is that this guy, his job is probably not a cleaner. Like, he just does it for fun to see the woman.
Who knows? But the thing is, he's cleaning this woman's house for free because he sees her. He doesn't know you. He doesn't give a fuck about you.
Yeah.
This is forced labor, and he walks into this big house. And the fact that David said he was trying to scam me. What the fuck? If I wouldn't fucking clean that shit up for $200.
No way.
And the other thing, this guy might be a cleaner. I would imagine he probably, like, why? I don't think he would just offer to clean somebody's house if you don't clean.
Like, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess.
So he's probably a cleaner, and he did a badass job, and he probably took less than an hour. I bet you that job to clean that up would have taken you or me like 3 or 4 hours to clean up, and we wouldn't have done as good a job as he did, because he knows how to clean. So I'm so glad that I couldn't wait to hear what you thought. But yeah, obviously this worked me up. Like, I told a bunch of people, I'm like, this is fucked up.
Yeah, it really is.
And it's in the back of his mind, because he goes on into it later in the podcast to just reaffirm that was too much. And David's like, well, so when Jason said, maybe 500 was worth it. And he says, no, it wasn't.
Yeah, I thought it was crazy. I don't know how you get this guy randomly at night to clean up shit.
They forced him, man. That was some bullshit.
Yeah.
That was some fucking bullshit.
And if you're listening to this podcast right now and you haven't seen this video, go to David's YouTube channel and check out the vlog where he has animals running through his house, and you can see the amount of mess and shit there was. There's no way. I think 500 would have been okay.
I think $500 should have been what? Well, maybe even $400 if he had just done that from the beginning. But to put it in, you used the words correctly when you said if you're just measuring time to clean and you think about only cleaning 2 rooms, okay, just that alone, okay, that's fucking. He would have walked out completely fucking happy.
Right.
But the fact that David's smiling, thinking, I'm gonna make this guy's day. I knew exactly the fucking reaction that was about to come.
Yeah, me too. I was like, there's no way he's gonna be happy with this shit. Okay, well, anyway, let's move on. But yeah, right. Check it out if you guys haven't seen it, and let us know what you think on Twitter. Send us a tweet or leave us a message on Anchor.
And also leave David a message and tell him to go give that guy $300 more.
Yeah, $400 for the fucking pain.
for the pain and suffering.
Yeah.
400. Yeah, I would love to see a poll on who agrees with him that $200 was fair for cleaning up shit.
Oh my god, yeah.
And not fuck. Oh, anyway.
Yeah. I can't believe you talked to a bunch of people about it. That's funny.
I really did. It really bothered me because I wanted to make sure, because he just seemed so casual about it that he was right and he's fucking not right.
Wait, but did you have anybody agree with David?
At first.
Okay.
Until I showed them the video.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's move on to the next topic.
And he's fucking rich.
Yeah.
Like he would even notice $500 missing. Like he's being such a.
Well, that's what I thought at first because I felt like he was like saying like, "Oh, is $200 enough?" Like, dude, you have fucking money.
He paid back in a March or April podcast. Did I tell you how much he had to pay in taxes?
No.
$1.7 million.
What the fuck? Yeah, he has money.
And he's $500 to him is like $1.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, can't give you $1. Let me give you 25 cents.
Yeah. Okay. Enough. We've gone through it. Okay. Next topic. Jason.
The buddy bench thing.
Yeah. Jason talked to his son. I guess they were hanging out at one point with another friend because his friend was coming over to hang out, and his friend said, "Hey, did you tell your dad about the buddy bench?" And apparently, at Jason's son's school, what's Jason's son's name? I forget. Wyatt. At Wyatt's school, they have this thing called a buddy bench, and it's there for people who don't have any friends. And if you sit on it, you're basically saying, "Hey, I'm available if you need friends, or I want friends." And the moment I heard that shit, I was thinking in my head and putting myself in high school, I would never sit on that fucking bench ever.
What dumb adult thought that was a good idea?
A fucking stupid adult. And it definitely was not one. It was a committee. There's no way one decision.
Yeah, I mean, and you just got to be smart enough to know that for the most part, you can't force it. The only way you could force it that would be kind of an easier way is like maybe group projects or something.
Yeah. Fucking a buddy bench. That's fucking crazy. Yeah, automatic loser.
I've heard of people like groups of people going and sitting with somebody that was alone, and now you could sort of, a cool teacher could probably get a group of cool kids to go sit with somebody or whatever, do it like that, but you don't want to expose the kid. But like I said, it's like Tinder, but you're not hiding behind the phone or the computer. You're just sitting out in person.
Yeah, but just so you know, I went to Korea, and there's a place called the Namsan Tower, and it's where you can, like, you and your significant other can lock a lock on the fence. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
But have you ever seen that in like France and stuff or anything like that?
Oh yeah.
Where you can like lock a lock and like secure your love on a fence or whatever. Well, they have benches there as well, but they're called love benches. And so if you just think of a bench, but then in the middle, you bend it downwards so that both of the ends slope in.
Okay.
It forces you to slide to the middle. So if two people sit on the end, it slides them into the middle for a love bench. I just thought it's kind of related, right? But
Interesting.
yeah, it's
They have
interesting.
they have all kind of weird shit like that in Korea,
Yeah.
where you can go to a bar. I don't know if you did any nightlife things, but you go to a bar / club,
Mm-hmm.
and so you sit down, and they start not hookers, like these girls are supposed to
Oh, buy me
eventually you
drinking
guys
girls.
no.
No?
These girls are like it's supposed to potentially develop into a real relationship. So
Oh, okay.
they come to you and they take your order, your drink and your food order, and then they take your girl order. Like, what do you like? She needs to speak English. She needs to be like this or like
Oh,
this.
for real? That's
Yeah,
weird.
and then they bring them to you, and then you can send them back and get a different one
What the fuck?
if it wasn't exactly what you were looking for. Yeah, I forget what, but yeah, that was when I was in Seoul.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was funny. But,
Wow.
so we'll make this one quick. Jason got to see Arnold Schwarzenegger's dick. The funniest part about him seeing it, because he was at Fenway Park and they were both using the bathroom together. And what did he say? His response was, "What do you think when you saw his dick?" I said, "Oh, good for you,"
Yeah.
or something like that.
No, it
But
wasn't it not Arnold Schwarzenegger? It was his dad.
it was Arnold Schwarzenegger's dad.
No, it was his own dad.
No,
No?
he was talking about how he never seen his dad that way. No, but it was Arnold Schwarzenegger at Fenway Park, because he had told David the story before,
Oh,
and so he
okay.
saw it and he said it made him feel bad because his dick was so big and
Okay.
Jason's was so small. And so David's like, "Well, you were a kid." I know, but I just felt bad. Like, why is mine so little? That was funny. Luckily, I never had that experience.
Yeah, I did. I didn't like that.
Whose did you see?
My dad's.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's just walking across the hallway, and I'm fucking playing video games. And I catch, like, in the corner of my eye, I see someone move, so I look, and then he's just walking across, and I saw it for like a split second, and I was like, what the fuck? And it was so funny because I was so young. I remember it, too. I was like, I asked my dad, I was like, why do you have hair there? I was like, I remember that. And then he was like, when you get older, you hit puberty. And I was like, I didn't understand what he was talking about at the time.
Well, then Jason starts talking about how much hair he has, and he says he hates it. He wish it wasn't like that because he always gets hair in Trisha's throat.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
I don't know why they devolve into some of those topics, but
I know, it's crazy. Well, I mean, David brought it up.
He said his hair looks like skinny onion rings on the top of a burger.
When they put too much.
But do you know? Have you watched Bohemian Rhapsody?
Not yet.
Oh, I don't even know anything about it.
Yeah, I know about it, but I didn't watch it.
So Freddie Mercury came out to his girlfriend as gay, and also because I know nothing about it, the only part like that I took from that is when David started talking about, just out of the blue, because he's always thinking about Liza, but it would be better for him if one or the other was gay,
which he meant if Liza said she was gay, so he doesn't have to worry about it, because he even said that. He said we don't have to worry about it,
because he would be yeah, because it's on his mind, like
right.
Obviously because of their lengthy relationship, he probably always wants to have sex with her every time he's there. But if he was gay, he'd be like, "Oh, I don't want you."
Right.
So damn, that's crazy. And then just out of the blue, Jason bought a horse, but he didn't. I know. Do you think he did? I thought I remember him saying something about buying a horse for his kid.
I heard him say. I remember him saying something like that, but I don't think he actually did. I think he rented a horse.
He rented a horse.
Yeah, I don't know if he bought one. He's not that rich.
Then Jason spoke at Career Day, and of course he gets an insult from David right away.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Because I was like, What is
He
he
was
going to
like,
speak about?
he was like, yeah, but it was like David was genuinely shocked that like like you spoke at career day. What'd you talk about?
Yeah.
I forget
Well,
the joke that he made, but I think they were talking about the chasm.
his joke, hang on, before his joke
Okay.
was, you should have went to career day instead of saying you were a YouTuber, that you are a 2.5 year lucky person, you know? And that was that was when David picked him up. That's what he's talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
What they were talking about, they're talking about the difference between sixth and seventh graders being interested. He said the sixth graders weren't interested in the YouTube at all, but the seventh graders were. And then he said that it was an interesting chasm. Chasm means like differences
Mm-hmm.
of viewpoints. I guess that you'll have to try to explain. But I think that he missed. Why do you think there was a difference between sixth and seventh graders?
To be honest, I don't know.
It's because his fucking kid is in the seventh grade class. Of course, they all know his dad is doing YouTube.
Oh, I didn't know his kid was in the 7th grade class.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Okay.
He thought, I wonder why all of a sudden when you turn 12, you're into YouTube. But they're probably not at that age. Yeah. So they know that his dad makes a living off of YouTube, so they think it's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The sixth grade class probably doesn't have in their mind, the dollars involved. They just
Right.
watch it and they
They just think it's videos.
right.
Yeah.
So, but they started talking about so Jason used the word chasm, and Jason wanted to bring up that David doesn't like when he uses words that he doesn't understand. So he said at one point he was asking him to put something in a video, and he said, "Can you put this part in the video? It'll make me look like less of a heel."
Right.
Have you ever heard that before?
You know what's so funny? I never heard that, and I've never paid attention to it if it has come up. But after I heard the podcast, I was like watching a commercial or a TV show, and they said it, and I fucking knew what they meant. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I've never ever heard it used in the way he was talking about. So he was using the word heel as in a bad guy, and so David was pissed off because he was like, "What the hell does heel mean?" And he's like, "Oh, it means a bad guy." He's like, "Well, why don't you just say bad guy?" Because I agree with David. Like, what the fuck would you want to use heel? Everyone knows what bad guy means.
Yeah, but when you have a vocabulary, a large vocabulary, you're going to use what pops into your mind. Now,
Right.
I never heard that, so I would have said, "What does that?" I would have said, "What does that mean?"
Right.
But you can't say, you're not gonna think and start like every time when you're like, let's say you're talking about photography.
Right.
You're not going to break down every word.
I get it.
Why did you have to say cinematography? Why couldn't you say
moves camera?
So Jason's like, well, you need to learn some new words, like take a class. And David always takes offense to it. He says, "I've said this to you so many times before. If I went to college, neither of us would be sitting in this room right now."
And that's so true.
He gets so butthurt, but it doesn't necessarily mean that. You don't know what was going to happen either way.
Right. I mean, he could have done it on the side.
Yeah, he could have done it on the side. He could have been. I mean, his choices were right, but he gets. I love how. I love the difference between certain people, celebrities that feel the need to that was a dig at Jason. I wouldn't be. Don't tell me I need to take a class. Well, you would know the word chasm if you took a class. Or you probably wouldn't have learned heel. That still doesn't make sense to me because it has to have to do something with maybe it's the bottom of your foot. I don't know. But the differences between people that take offense to not having a degree, and the people that just don't care. Like I remember watching the start of a football game, and it was so crazy. At the start of the football game, they or maybe it's just Super Bowls or playoffs or something. I don't know. But at the start of a football game, they go through all the players on each side.
Okay.
Offense and defense. And so they have the person's face. Like on Fox, they have the person's face. "Hi, I'm Des Bryant."
Okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it says, and then they say from Georgia Tech or from Louisiana State or whatever college they went to.
Right.
And there's actually people on there, which fucking shocks the fuck out of me. Like I've seen one that was their last school was in middle school. And then
Wow.
I seen several that just had a high school that didn't have. And some people get real threatened by that, but some people don't. Like some comedians I've seen don't say, like, they're just like, I didn't go to college, I just didn't make that choice. There's no reason to be offended. Like, nobody's
Right.
criticizing you because you didn't go. But it's definitely not a bad suggestion that's to tell anybody, like, hey, if there's something you need to learn, school is where you do it.
Right. And this is off topic, but it was a conversation I had with my wife. And I said, I really feel like in the next 5 to 10 years, I feel like less and less people are going to go to college. I feel like there's so many resources online to teach yourself something specialized that more and more people will just opt out of going to college and use their money for something else.
Well, it just depends. It depends on what field you're going into.
Right. I understand. I'm just saying in general, I feel like there's going to be less and less people going to college, but I know that it's still necessary, especially if you are going into a specific field like
If you're going to be a
law. Yeah, yeah,
doctor,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Here's what I think. I think it goes in a cycle. Like right now, the unemployment rate is so low. Companies have no choice but to reduce the
Higher.
requirements. Yeah.
Higher.
So I feel like it just goes in cycles, and it may come back. I think school is way too expensive.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous. Like, when you think about it, think about any of your professors, what they had to teach you. Now, they teach you from the point of you already knowing just about everything.
Yeah.
They teach you from that perspective. And the school is charging. So let's say you're in a class that has 100 people in it. Each of those 100 people are paying, like, what, $1,000 for that class?
Yeah, something like that. Like 1,500. Okay. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So let's say 1,500. Each of them are paying $1,500 for that class. Now compare that to a kindergarten teacher.
Right.
You are teaching a kid that doesn't know anything
from scratch. Yeah.
Nothing. Like, this is how you write.
Right.
This is how you read the word eat. Like, that's the hardest shit ever. Like, when you teach somebody something on a computer, it's fucking hard, right?
Right.
An old person. It's so the cost of college. What the fuck are they? Why the fuck does it cost so much?
I don't know. They're just teaching the one thing.
Yeah, and I mean, it's somebody's getting rich off of that, because that is ridiculous.
For sure.
There is no excuse for the cost of college.
For sure. And if you could think about the other countries that don't have any cost for college, like, I mean, not for specialized colleges and stuff like that, but for even community college, right? It's free. So why can't the US do that, right?
Well, and they need to fix it, because somebody just started at a point. I understand back in the day, like, high school wasn't free.
High school wasn't free?
Right.
What the fuck? I would have not gone.
Well, because the education thing is just meant to separate people, and that was used for discriminatory purposes. When you have to pay, it makes sure that people don't, like when they had poll taxes. They used to charge you to go to vote.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason they charge you is because if you're poor, you can't vote.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
that's crazy.
A little off topic, but
yeah.
So he kind of makes that dig, but I like that Jason came back and Jason said, money isn't everything.
And you'll realize it in the future.
You're gonna find out, because you're gonna be all alone that was pretty harsh.
That was pretty fucked up. Harsh. Right.
Yeah, you're gonna be all alone with piles of money, because he thought it, and I knew he would have thought it already. Mm-hmm. But he said David says he's thought about it, and that the possibility of him being all alone, or having people around but not having people around that truly care about him.
Right, and I think they might have nailed it right on the head too. For like famous people, right? Like, they're so rich, they always will have people around, but that's just because they're either similar because they're all rich, but I don't know if they create a full bond with somebody.
Yeah, a relationship. Yeah. Like, you can't constantly throw shit in people's faces.
Right.
The only people that are allowed to do that is rappers. I thought about that. That's the only profession you're really allowed to just openly brag about all your money. Look at my chains, my Lambo, Can you think of another profession where it's okay?
No, never.
Yeah, yeah. So I thought that's funny. So rappers and David can always throw around the fact they have a lot of money. I like how, and then I have a little bit of money. That is so condescending. Jason saying that he has a little bit of money now.
Yeah,
That is so condescending. What do you have a little bit of money now? That's not what that means at all. That means I have a lot of money.
right.
That means I have more money than I've ever had before. That's what that means. But to say I have a little bit of money,
Yeah. And then he said that he's been poor so recently that he would go back. I guarantee he would not want to fucking go back at all.
yeah. I guess he just contemplated if it doesn't work out, he would just have to live with the fact that, he's done it before, he can do it
He can
again.
do it. Yeah, he can do it again. That's what he's going to.
But Jason said he was the cheapest guy on the planet. And then Jason in his high-pitched voice is like, what are you talking about? You're the cheapest. And then I hear this bullshit, and I'm like, what the fuck again, David? Stop giving us these what the fuck moments here.
Right.
He sent Jason said, sent him to get an order for him at Chipotle, and he gave him $11 for a $13 order with no tip. And then David just laughs.
Yeah, and that confuses me because how is David giving someone $11 to go get something? Are you not going to give him 40? Like, right. Just in case?
At least 20.
Yeah.
He's just like digging in his change and saying, hey, here, go get me Chipotle.
Yeah. That's
crazy. It sounds like he does that a lot. Like the time he didn't bring his wallet to Olive Garden.
Yeah, he's rolling in dough. I don't understand.
And Trisha paid for it. But there's some other famous person that does that shit. Is it Will Smith?
I don't know. I've never heard anybody else doing that.
Yeah, I think Will Smith, and he thinks it's okay because people want to talk to him, so they'll gladly give him money.
That's crazy. But rich people want to stay rich, right? So they never bring money out.
Right. But say you're not rich and you don't have a job, they think you should use ZipRecruiter.
You're right. And we don't think you should use ZipRecruiter. You should use Indeed.com.
Indeed.com, where they search thousands of resumes.
Yeah. And they get you the right job or the right applicant faster than ZipRecruiter.
And now, Joe's Teeny Weeny Podcast.
Yeah, this one was actually pretty good.
Yeah, they liked it. I do like it. I didn't catch it at first. I had to listen to it again.
The music in the beginning?
It wasn't music. It was
like
fans
cheering.
Screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, Joe's TV Podcast.
Yeah.
So that was pretty dope.
Yeah. But you know what's so funny about this whole podcast? He only has 25 seconds to do his podcast during David's podcast. And the funny thing is, every podcast ends in the same way. And it's been like that for the past 3 or 4 podcasts where he's like, and we have a special guest, Jason Nash. And then he's done. He can't get further than that.
He had Natalie once. And she got to say, hi, I'm Natalie.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
I thought it was cool that Jason donated stuff to firefighters for the California fires.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I don't know why they didn't emphasize that. Or I don't even know if he made a... What?
Well, David made it, Jason made the comment, like, you don't want to talk about, like, something like, you don't want to talk about this more, give me my props or whatever. And Jason really David didn't really think it was a big deal.
He didn't. He just really wanted to say his story about the CNN thing because that was kind of crazy, For every 1 second, it was like burning 8 football fields or something like that.
1 football field a second.
Oh, yeah.
And 80 per minute.
Wow, that's crazy. But still, I think they should have talked about him donating because, that's a great gesture, especially, if you think of how
that was
crazy.
Good to hear.
Yeah.
He donating masks and stuff like that. Like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And,
David, you need to recognize some of those things and let your listeners know that you guys are doing stuff like that.
So you have 2 things, David, you must do. You owe that guy $400 first, okay? Second, you better go give those firefighters some equipment because that's hell up there.
Yeah.
Jason asked him if he used to start fires, and he said, yeah, he did. And it's funny because he lives in California. I don't know if he lived in California before, but
no, he lives somewhere else.
But damn it. Oh, I used to live in California when I was like 6, 7, and 8 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and I used to start fires
Like,
all the time. In fact, one became a big fire.
like, like,
Um,
like when you okay, wait, hang on. When you say start fires, do you mean like lighting the earth on fire?
yes.
Oh, okay. I've never done that. You fucking crazy ass person.
I was 7 or 8 years
I
old.
know. I used
So,
to light shit on fire, but not the earth. Like, not to get the earth going.
well, I didn't know. I did learn that it could become a bad thing, and so we had to call the fire department on our own fire.
Wow.
Yeah, and they never found out we did it. Like
Wow.
they praised us for letting them know and for doing the right thing, but it got big and we couldn't get it out. Um, yeah, but I was young. My parents never. I don't think my parents even know. I'll have to tell
Yeah, you should tell.
them.
Remember that big
Remember that
ass
big?
fire?
That was me.
Yeah.
I always do things big.
Where are we? I don't even know. What else did they talk about?
Okay, so
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Police came. Okay, so in David's vlog, like I think 2 vlogs ago, they were shooting each other with paintball guns. I think they got a new paintball or something like that. But then his neighbors heard it, called the cops. The cops came to David's house, and they thought that they were shooting off fireworks. And it's very, very crazy in California because it's like super illegal to use fireworks because of fires such as the one going on right now or the one that just happened. And they even had a helicopter fly over the house because they were looking for fires. But when the cops came and they saw that they were just shooting each other with paintball guns, they were like, "It's all good," you know.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Um, so then Jason's telling David, and that kind of sucks because he was talking about how beautiful David's house used to be and that he feels like he's letting it go.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when they brought back up he said maybe he should, Jason tells him, maybe you should hire that old man. But after David saying he killed it, he said he did a great job and he said he killed it. But again, he said it wasn't worth $500.
That's fucked up. Yeah.
Okay. So,
This one's pretty funny. I like this because I feel like this is Jason's personality. But Jason said he's taking personal training to get, I guess, healthier and more fit. But it seems that David is always calling him, and Jason's making an excuse saying, "Hey, I got to go to personal training, but if you need me, I can leave early," kind of thing. And I think that I would expect that from him because who the fuck wants to work out? Like if you can get out of it quickly, get out of it quickly. But Jason's denying it.
but Jason gave him like 2 or 3 different examples of him being the reason he had to leave early. Come on, let's take Trisha to the airport. Come on, let's take Trisha to the airport. Okay, I left early. You told me to, and you're calling me out on this broadcast. And then you wanted to shoot me to help me with the vlog, so I left the other day.
Yeah.
And he had said, you've missed 3 of the last 7 days. You're the reason I missed it. I left early 3 of the times.
Right.
So I could see him like, what are you calling me out for? You fucking did it.
Yeah.
So then he was talking about, again, digging at Jason. And I don't know if it's funny or not, but he said that his trainer used a dough roller, something like a dough roller, to stretch him out. That sounds fucking painful. I'm sure it was, but
Yeah, we actually have one of those.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it fucking hurts, but it feels so good.
Why? How does it hurt and feel good?
I promise you, I'll explain it. But when I went to Korea or Japan with Sterling, and I saw one, I said, Sterling, I swear to God, let me just try this on you real quick. And I literally like rolled his arm with it, and he was like, "What the fuck? It feels so good." He bought one.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So I know exactly what he's talking about.
So David says, "Oh, if we rolled you out, you'd be the biggest pizza, you'd be the biggest pizza in the world, but you taste like shit."
Yeah, he's always putting him down for
Always.
for him being old or like him out of shape.
And then he says, "You'd be the Little Caesars of pizza." And then Jason responded, "You love Little Caesars, you bitch." And he's like, "Okay, that's true. Do you love Little Caesars?"
I haven't had it in years.
I haven't had it in years either, but I don't love it.
I've never have.
It would be last on the damn list. I'm surprised that he likes Little Caesars, but
apparently, apparently though, talking about Little Caesars, I remember Jason saying that Jason has been introduced so many times, like Little Caesars, from David, because he would just not go to these different brands and eat or like shop there, which makes sense to me. I mean, the demographics, their age difference is huge.
But you know the brands that he's talking about, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Little
yeah,
Caesars. He introduced him to Little Caesars,
yeah.
Olive Garden,
The one,
Buffalo Wild Wings.
what?
The newest one of those things is Wild Wings.
Yeah, I thought that was crazy. I was like, you have not gone to a Buffalo Wild Wings?
He just didn't leave the house. Now I think people are too crazy about B-dubs. I don't see what the big deal is.
I just think
Like,
it's good. I don't think it's like, oh, I need to go, but I think it's good.
right. I mean, I have some friends that always like it's going to be. I always joke, like, "Oh, I wonder where we're going to go." Buffalo Wild Wings. Yeah, there's plenty of places, but I don't know. Have you ever used Stamps.com?
No, because why the fuck would I do that? And so they do another ad, and it's stamps.com, which I don't think you guys should do that. Don't go to stamps.com. Just email whoever you want to talk to. But this is crazy because I don't understand why stamps.com would go and talk to David about announcing them. I mean, that's just crazy. Stamps are so old.
But the people that use Stamps,
I don't
like,
care what you're going to say right now.
no,
I
like
just
people,
think,
no people that. What about if you sold on eBay?
I don't care.
What do you mean? You have to mail it to the person.
Yeah, go to UPS or FedEx.
Oh,
You're
well,
stupid.
I don't think the idea is wrong, but just the U.S. Postal Service.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing. I guess money is money, but I guess David will accept any ad thing. Should we call Natalie and be like, we have a business? It's the Reviews podcast.
Yeah, let's put our ad on his podcast.
How much does it cost?
I think it's $5,000.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Fuck that. Wait, can you spot me real quick?
It's $4,800 if you clean his house.
Oh, Jesus.
But I like how Jason was trying to find a way to sell stamps.com and he just couldn't think of it. He said he loves it because mailing a letter is very hard.
Yeah, it is.
You gotta open the envelope. You
gotta actually write something.
But I like that. I wonder why they said that Natalie's being snotty to Jason. Why would maybe he does? Maybe she's doing it because she sees him. David's mean to her, and then David's mean to him, and then so she's being mean to him.
And she's just probably more comfortable with him around.
But I wonder if she's just joking or she's really. But no, David said, "quote, she's being really snotty to you."
Yeah, I think she's just. I don't think she's doing it on purpose, but or not like in an intentional mean way. She's just, trying to piss him off. I don't know.
The thing where Jason's ex-wife's mother about mailing letters to people that said shitty things to them, but giving the letter to anytime somebody was like, okay, I'm going to Ohio next week. Oh, hold on a second. I need to write some letters to some people that I don't like.
You completely butchered the fuck out of that.
Say a bunch of mean things. So she gives the letter to somebody who's traveling anywhere so that the person she's trying to be shitty to doesn't know where the letter came from.
Right. Okay, hang on. Let me restart the beginning of that. Okay, what he's trying to say is Jason's ex-wife's mother, whenever she had someone that she hated, like her neighbor or a friend or something like that, she would wait for someone else, another friend of her, when they would say, oh, I'm going to Alaska or something. She would write a letter and give it to that friend so that they could mail it while they're on their trip to send it to the person that she hates. And that way they can never figure out where it's coming from. That's what Mike's trying to say.
That's what I said.
No, you need to re-listen to this shit, and you started all weird.
No, that's exactly what I said. But that's kind of crazy. I think I've heard of people like writing letters, but just wanted to make sure that it's anonymous. But I wonder if they could really be anonymous, or you'd be.
You can be, yeah.
No, I wonder if the person will know it's you.
Oh, I don't know. But how do they know it came from fucking Alaska? Unless did they stamp it?
No, they know. Yeah, that's how it works. When you go to a post office, it stamps it from the location you send it from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I mean, it makes sense and it's pretty smart. But I think the person might know who she is because they probably know someone who doesn't like them.
Yeah.
So I thought it was cool. I don't think they really paid attention to why Joe thought the story about France seizing a jet at takeoff. So France, a jet was about to take off by Ryanair,
Right.
and with passengers on the plane, and the France authorities stopped the plane with the passengers on it, seized it. Of course, the passengers got to get off because Ryanair didn't pay their bill.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
So I don't think they understood. They're like, "Oh, that's not nothing story." No, that's kind of crazy. Imagine you being that's not like
yeah. I'm
not
about
a
to go
story.
home, and
Yeah.
I can't go home.
But what the fuck is wrong with the France authorities? You know, did they just get a notice they didn't pay their bill, and they're like, "Wait, it's on the runway right now."
Yeah.
Yeah, we're about to take off, and then that's fucking nuts. I wonder why they did that. Maybe to make it more dramatic.
Yeah,
Like
probably
they
to
did that on
publicize
purpose.
it.
Because all you have to do is say, "You can't take off here."
Yeah.
I mean, it's as simple as that. But I thought that was a cool story. So good job, Joe, for always bringing us the hard hitting news.
Yes, and don't forget, you can always join us.
Yep, we are still offering you 60 seconds.
Yeah.
In our broadcast. And then they keep advertising. That would, it would be cool to go see their views live. And I like that they call it that. So it's an extension of their podcast.
Right, and then we should see where they're doing their performance, and then the next day we do a reviews live.
Yep. So the Views live on December 2nd at Northridge, California, and Reviews live December 3rd, also at Northridge, California.
We're just gonna talk about what they talk about.
That would be so dope to have that.
Because you know what it really is like this whole podcast that we're doing. It's kind of. Have you ever watched Walking Dead?
A few times.
Did you watch it when it was actually like playing, weekly on the TV, like on cable?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like after an episode, they would have Talking Dead.
Right.
Right. So this is kind of what that's like.
This is Talking Views.
Yeah. Review. All right.
Reviews.
All right.
But yeah. Good podcast.
Great. Yeah. Good podcast.
Thanks for listening. Follow us on Twitter, Reviews Podcast and the number 1. And send us something.
Yeah.
Send us a message. We want to hear a message.
Send us a message. Send us a tweet, DM, picture, whatever you want. Get the Anchor app. Leave us a message.
We're happy for all of you that are listening. Like, it's not a ton, but it's a decent amount. They keep going up.
Yeah. We're getting. I think we have a total of over 100 listens, which is kind of great. Yeah, and we had a YouTube channel with our podcast up there too. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. This is the Reviews Podcast. My name is Chris.
My name's Mike. Hashtag pay that man $500 and not Jeff.
We'll see you in the next one.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.